Have they briefed you in on what we're talking about?
Absolutely not, mate.
Good.
No.
Good. Because you would have said
we're
no.
more the freestyle type.
So, this happened. Partnership with Google to celebrate the special edition Chrome McLaren that's running at this weekend's British Grand Prix. I was invited down for 10 minutes with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Now, to keep things in line with the livery design or what if blank joined F1 theme of this channel, I wanted to bring their ideas to life. If Lando and Oscar could boss their own Formula 1 teams from the ground up, how would they look? Team name, team principal, livery, driver lineup? However, before we get into that, we've got to give a little review, have a little redesign of the real thing, the McLaren X Google Chrome Special Edition. Because I was lucky enough to be there in person for the launch. I put a little YouTube short together showcasing, what I saw. And I've got to say, to be honest, it's about as good for me as the standard livery, but definitely no better. I was a bit disappointed by the lack of chrome relative to papaya on the car. That papaya is such a strong colour, you don't need much of it to stand out. I feel like they could have dialed it back a little bit more and it still have that impact, I mean, from the front perspective, particularly, in my opinion, it at a glance looks almost identical. But then the rear perspective, you see a bit more of the chrome and then it starts to be like, decent. And look, there's clearly a commercial balance being struck here, right? I don't know if you noticed, but every single part of that car that's wrapped with this chrome vinyl has zero McLaren partner on it, apart from chrome itself, of course. Every single other brand logo on that car, and again, it's the McLaren, so they've got a lot, is backed by either bare exposed carbon or papaya. I guess go into all your individual partners and being, do you mind being on chrome? Do you mind being on chrome? Just stick it on the papaya. So I get that. I get where that could be a bit tricky. Further to that, there are FIA sanctioned regulations, sporting regulations about liveries which do limit the scope of this. Both cars must be presented in substantially the same livery at every races. Significant changes like the Triple Crown livery, for example, must be pre-agreed with the FIA and Liberty Media. It's still a good looking car, it's still a 7 out of 10 for me, but can I make it any better? Can I put my money where my mouth is? Well, of course I can. I've taken that front perspective, put it into Photoshop, and come up with a few different versions. The first take is what I would call the most realistic option I've come up with, where I've added more chrome, but broadly speaking tried to keep the chrome away from the partner logos. Now, of course, there are exceptions, so Velo, big on the side, OKX on the rear wing, and the little Hilton logo just above Lando's number 4 in this image. Now, that's only 3 different partners to negotiate some chromage with, so it's a little bit easier. I did think it was really important to put some chrome on the nose because I do think that long papaya nose is a big component as to why this livery just doesn't look distinct enough. And I put some chrome on the rear wing as well. I feel like for me, when you look at this, it has more of the balance akin to the original Vodafone chrome McLaren, where the chrome was the primary colour, if you want to call it a colour, and then the red in that instance was the secondary colour. On the real version of this, I feel like they've still tried to keep the papaya the primary colour almost, whereas my version just reduces the amount of papaya, still adds it, moves it around in a few places, but makes the chrome dominant more so. Next we have just an all chromed out version, right, which isn't necessarily realistic and isn't necessarily akin, like I say, to the original, which had that bright red to offset. It would be cool maybe if they just ran this in practice, maybe just all chrome. That would have been nice to see, but I do think a little bit of papaya is necessary. I understand why they want to keep the papaya. There was no way they were going to put red on this car. That was never going to happen. So then the final option is simply plonking some papaya back on the side pod. The side pod is the most prominent part of any livery. It's typically, when I do my redesigns, the place I start first. You have that big place where you put your big main, typically title sponsor logo, and then build the rest of the livery around that. I'll pin a post in the comments below with each option so that you can vote. Which is your favourite? Number 1, the original. Number 2, realistic. Number 3, chromed. Or number 4, small papaya. Alright, I've kept you waiting long enough. Time to hear from Lando and Oscar. And please give this one a like, because this video is a real big deal to me. This is the first time I've ever spoken one-to-one with F1 drivers, let alone on a video. So let's see what the lads had to say.
I'm here with
Oscar.
That's it, Oscar and
Lando.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate you taking the time.
No worries, mate.
Do you remember, Lando, we did a quadrant video a couple of years ago?
Livery one?
Yep.
Was it 2 years ago? Time flies.
Height of lockdown then.
Are we actually speaking into these?
You are, yeah.
It's simple. No logos.
Clean branding, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, we made a clean livery last time.
We did.
Much better than Aravan is.
Oh, dominated.
Obviously, Bruce McLaren, who started the team, racing driver turned team owner. You two, Piastri, Norris, right way round. I want to see what you would put together, and I'm going to bring it to life after the fact, if you had your own team. First of all, Oscar, you've got your own F1 team. What are you calling it? Scuderia Piastri, perhaps? I like the sound of that. You don't. What's all that?
You're obviously a Ferrari fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's not even Scuderia Ferrari.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Knowledge.
What am I going to call my own F1 team?
Piastri Racing, Piastri F1 team.
I can't use my
You've got
last
to be
name.
self-indulgent, man. Come on.
I'm just going to be the most PR answer ever.
Me?
I am. Mine's Quadrant.
Quadrant F1 team.
I was wondering if you were going to go all in on Quadrant for this.
I
So
have
you've
to.
got these ideas already in your head, and I've got nothing. Piastri F1 team it is.
That's it. Done. Perfect. All right.
That's pretty
Original.
cool, that. How'd you come up with that?
So original, I know.
Push the boat out of here, man. All right. Colour palette, livery. What we saying? I'm guessing.
You know it already. Mine is actually, you know what? There won't be that much neon on the car.
Okay.
I'll be a carbon base. It could be some chrome or like a dark grey with some hints of yellow. Thing is, I want like from a front view, I still want it to I want it to stand out. You know, when you see I feel like when you see the McLarens, they stand out quite a bit compared to the rest.
Even on your car, you don't have. It's not all papaya, but there's enough for it to pop. So
true.
Oscar, colour palette wise.
Colours.
Because you run a bit of neon on your helmet as well, right?
Yep.
It's like green and yellow, no?
That's very Australian, yeah. Green, yellow, chrome, gold chrome.
Okay.
Yep.
Gold chrome.
Gold chrome.
Wow, he's that kind of guy.
You're gonna ice out your jewellery. Like, is you kind of ice out kind of guy, yeah?
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. But green and chrome gold.
Chrome gold.
Yeah, and black.
Green and chrome gold.
But I don't know what green to go for here.
I would have
feel
gone
something-
like a
brightish green.
chrome green.
Chrome green.
Yeah, I would have gone chrome green. But then you're a bit like Caterham, aren't you?
You know what? Why don't we just go both?
That's true.
Chrome gold and chrome green.
You're giving me more work.
Look at him go.
Yeah, whatever's the hardest for you to do in a render.
Okay, all right. What about, and you can't say Andrea Stella, who's leading the line? And it could be anyone. It could be your mum. It could be your neighbour.
Team principal, this is, or what?
Yeah, TP.
TP.
Who you trusting to lead the line? Like you're Zach Brown. Who's your Andrea Stella?
Who am I gonna put in? If I'm Zach Brown, maybe I could put Zach Brown in. I want to put Jackie Stewart.
Yes.
I've won there. Like you can't beat me.
Legend.
You can't beat that. Don't you dare say Mark Webber.
I wasn't going to say
Mark Webber.
He was gonna say.
He was
No, I
definitely going to say
wasn't.
Mark Webber.
I wasn't.
Could be anyone. Could be an ex, like maybe one of your, when
An
you're at
ex?
Kramer. No. Oh, it could be an ex. It could be an ex. as well.
Jesus.
It could be.
That's one way to build a team culture.
Yeah, there you go.
Who's been a really good team principal, like back in the day? I'm going to go with Jean Todt.
Wow, you gone like fair
Okay,
play.
yes,
Fair play
he's
there.
serious,
Like he's gone
serious.
proper serious on that one.
Like Schumacher glory days,
Yeah.
bring John Todd back, maybe Ross Brawn into the team. All right, finally, lads, you can't pick each other. Who's driving for you?
Ooh.
And again, you've got to manage the relationship. You don't want two drivers who are going to clash heads a lot.
You can't pick each other, but you can pick yourself.
No, you
Oh,
can't.
'cause
You
I'm-
can't
no, 'cause I'm
also
CEO,
race.
I'm
Come
CEO.
on. Yeah, exactly, man. It's a
Just
busy
like
job.
I'm CEO of Quadrant.
You've got all the accounting to do. You've got expenses to fill out. You can't be driving as well, man.
Okay, who am I? Max Verstappen and. But you pick one.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
One at a time.
He knows what
Okay,
he's
but so I can't pick Max now, can I?
doing. You could.
It depends how much you're paying him.
How much are you paying him?
That's going to be a wage. That's going to be a big chunk out of your budget. Isn't it?
That is
'Cause you see,
I've got
I
no
was-
car development for the whole year, but I got Max Verstappen.
His hole's in the bottom of the floor and he just runs. I'll do.
See, I was going to say Max and Lewis, but then you said you've got to...
Yeah, this is what I mean. Realistically, you want the dynamic to work.
Yeah,
It
true.
could work, maybe. We've never seen it.
It could. Would it though? I don't think it would. Do you think it would?
Thank you. I put my second seat. That's my number one driver.
To go someone different, I'll choose Lewis.
Okay.
And I'm going to find someone else.
Did they have to be like current era?
Can it just be anyone?
Yeah, I think let's stick to the current grid. Let's stick to the current grid.
Since my first is Lewis Hamilton, second's Fernando Alonso.
Oh,
2007.
Yeah, I was
back.
gonna say
Yeah, Lewis and Fernando round 2.
I'd love to see that. You're okay.
that'd be good, huh?
I like it.
I would love to say just Yuki Tsunoda,
Yes.
just for pure content.
And you saw him in the monster trucks. Great team.
I did. I didn't even see that episode, but
And
I
you
just saw a
beat
picture.
Max actually in equal.
Did he
machinery.
actually?
Yeah. Confirmed.
Confirmed. That's really good.
He's done.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, yeah, Max number 2 driver, Yuki number 1.
Nice. Love it. All right. I'll make that happen then. Let's do it.
Sweet.
Done. Finished.
Very good.
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
So which team are you backing? Quadrant F1 or the Piastri Formula 1 team? Good, strong driver lineups on both ends. Yuki Tsunoda number 1 driver. I will take that. And the chaos of Lewis and Fernando back in the same team. Oh, Oscar. He knows what the people want. A big thank you to Google, McLaren, Lando, Oscar, and most importantly, you for watching. Without your support, none of this would happen. This wouldn't be possible, and I owe it all to you and your support. So honestly, thank you so much. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-ra.